guys? Rob here. Welcome back to another list video. The last few videos I've done, I talked about my favorite part 2s of horror films and my least favorite part 2s. And I had one rule that it had to have the number 2 in the title, whether it was spelled out, Roman numeral, whatever. It wasn't like The Collector or The Collection. Like, you know, The Collection is the sequel, it's the second movie, but it doesn't have anything to do with part 2, or it doesn't have the number 2 in it. So that was my only rule for this. So today I thought I'd do my favorite part 3s in horror films. And after this I'll do my least favorite part 3s. And just my opinions. I have a lot of fun doing these. There's actually not as many in this segment, but I have quite a few good ones, and I think. So hope you guys enjoy these videos. Let's get started. The first one is Tremors 3, Back to Perfection. This is where they go back to the town from the first movie, and I love the first movie. And it's funny, this movie is rated PG. And there's some returning characters. The kid who played Melvin in the first movie, I think, is back for this one, and he is the mayor. He's a politician now. And then there's I think her name was Nancy, the blonde that was in the first movie. She was in that house with the girl with the pogo stick. And I think she returns as well. But it's cool they go back to that town. I really like that. But yeah, call this a guilty pleasure. I don't know. It's better than the fourth one, that's for sure. But yeah, that's the first one there, Tremors 3. The next one is Final Destination 3. A lot of people don't care for this one, but I love roller coasters, and when I seen this, you know, the accident involves like a roller coaster breaking apart and people flying off of it. I absolutely loved it. And the tanning bed scene, that scene is crazy. That scene really caught me off guard. But it was directed by James Wong, and I don't know, I really like this one. Yeah, I think a lot of people, you know, crap on this. In my opinion, it's way better than the fourth movie. Here we have Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Now, I like this movie. I know people are kind of mixed on this one. I do prefer Hellraiser 2 and Hellraiser 1 over this, but I feel like this movie is way better than any of the sequels after. Bloodline is not terrible. I guess I can watch it, but I choose this one overall. Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Very, very underrated. I consider this an underrated gem, directed by Jeff Burr. And, you know, Viggo Mortensen's in this, Ken Foree, William Butler, Kate Hodge. This includes the R-rated and unrated versions. Really, really good Texas Chainsaw Massacre film that doesn't really get talked about. And here's another one that doesn't get talked about at all, and it is The Exorcist 3. William Peter Blatty. Now, this is way better than the second film. The second film was boring. I didn't like it. You know, Brad Dourif's in this. I forgot who did the music. Barry DeVerzon. I don't know who that is. But it's got Jason Miller, Scott Wilson. Really, really good film. If you haven't seen it, I definitely suggest you watch that one. Here we have The Return of the Living Dead 3, which is kind of like a zombie love story. I really like this one. They really did something different here. You know, Mindy Clark, I think that's her name. Is that Mindy Clark? Yeah, Mindy Clark, she gets in an accident, I believe on a motorcycle, and she dies. And so the boyfriend takes her body to the trioxin place, the chemical place, because his dad works there, and he brings her back to life. But when she comes back, she's not herself. She's obviously still dead, but she craves brains. And so she, to kind of make the pain go away, she starts to stick needles and stuff inside, you know, like into her skin, and you know, like on her leg and in her face, and she goes emo pretty much, and that's the only way she can fight off the hunger to have brains. But it basically turns her into this monster. The gore effects are really good. They're top notch in this movie, the gore effects. I really like this one. This one gets overlooked, and it's a shame. And Vestron Video did a fantastic job on, cleaning this up, and a lot of good special features. So, Insidious Chapter 3. This one was good. I don't think I liked it as much as the first and second movie, which was all about Patrick Wilson, especially the second one. But it's got Lin Shaye in it. I think this one's, really good. I actually enjoy this one more than the fourth movie. But I do like all the Insidious films. I think they're pretty good. So, Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. When it comes to the Phantasm movies, I love all 5 of them. Ravager is probably the weakest, in my opinion. I know a lot of people will say, like, the fourth movie, they don't really care for, but this has the unrated director's cut, never before released in North America, the Anchor Bay version. But yeah, Phantasm 3, I love it. I love all the Phantasm, films, even Ravager. Joyride 3, Roadkill. Joyride 1, fantastic. Didn't really care for Joyride 2 as much, but this one I thought was better. But again, that's not saying much, because the story is about these street racers. They run into Rusty Nail, and he starts to torture them, and the effects are good, and the kills are pretty good. You get to see a lot more of Rusty Nail in this one. He actually shows himself a lot. But I still think the first one's the greatest, but this one's not bad at all. Psycho 3. I like all the Psycho films. Do I really need to talk about Psycho? No. Child's Play 3. I love Child's Play 3. In my opinion, there are only 3 good Chucky films. Child's Play, Child's Play 2, and Child's Play 3. To me, Child's Play is a trilogy, which it is, because then they started calling them, different companies started calling them Chucky. Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky. But when it comes to Child's Play, they are fantastic movies. It's a trilogy. I love it. In part 3, it's Andy goes to a military camp, and he's meets his kid Tyler, who Chucky basically targets to to take over his body. But Andy's a little bit grown up. But I love the characters like Whitehorse, Shelton, the Major Shelton or whatever. This I don't know. Part 3 is great, and I think it's a little bit underrated, to be honest. But Child's Play 3. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, I always say this, probably, I don't know, I'd say about 10 years ago, I probably would have never have mentioned this film for anything, because I didn't care for it. But as I watched it over the years, I started to like it more and more and more. I just like the story. I like the Halloween theme. I like the music. Masks that kill children. I love it. So, it's cheesy, but it's a lot of fun. Friday the 13th, Part 3. The very first horror film I ever saw. The very first horror film I ever collected, right here. I love this movie. It's this movie, out of all the Friday the 13th movies, this one is the most iconic, because this is the movie where he first gets the hockey mask, and he becomes an icon, pretty much, or a horror icon. And it's my favorite. I love the characters. Larry Zerner, who plays Shelley. They're all awesome. But directed by Steve Miner, did the 3D thing. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. A lot of people will tell you that this is either their favorite or second favorite Nightmare film out of all the movies. And I, like, honestly, I love the first four. The first four movies, I love them. But yeah, this is no exception. You know, Heather Langenkamp returns as Nancy. John Saxon returns. They all fight against Freddy. They all have powers in the dream world, and they fight him. And really, really cool. And of course, you know, Nightmare 4 doesn't make any sense how Freddy returns after they did all that work on burying Freddy's bones in this film. So it's like Nightmare 4 completely disregards everything that happened here and the struggle that the characters had to endure. But I still like Nightmare 4. But Critters 3. I've explained that I like all four of the Critters films, and I know there's new ones. There's a new one that came out that I haven't seen. I think there's another one coming out too. But I like the Critters films. They're cheesy fun, and I like the effects. I like the creatures, the Krites. You know, this one has Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, Don Opper as Charlie, Amy Brooks. Good movie. I like it. Saw 3. I always explain that the first 3 Saw movies I can watch because I consider it almost like a trilogy, because after Saw 3, it's mostly flashbacks with John Kramer. He's not alive. He clearly dies in this film. A lot of people were taken back by Jigsaw, saying, oh my god, John Kramer's alive. No, he's not. He died in Saw 3. Which is why I thought they should have left it alone. They should have just had it be a trilogy. But Saw, you know, it had a huge fan base, huge following, made money, so they started releasing them, you know, pretty much every year, and it just got ridiculous. In my opinion, the only good ones are 1, 2, and 3, and all the rest of them are just blah. Saw 4 sucks. I hate Saw 4. Saw 5 is just mind-blowingly bad. 6 I can watch. 7 is stupid as hell, especially the beginning. And then Jigsaw had some cool moments, but there was nothing different. The characters were so stupid in that movie. You can relate to the characters in the first 3 movies better than any of the characters in any of the other ones. That's my opinion, though. Last, Scream 3. I love this movie. This is my second favorite Scream movie, and I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I'm finding more and more people who like Scream 3, and it's, you know, at first I thought I was alone in liking Scream 3, but I'm actually not. I love this movie. It ties with the first movie better than any of the other movies, and the first movie is my favorite, and so, you know, there's a whole thing about Sydney's mom. They do, like, a whole backstory on that. You know, Sydney's brother's in this, and there's one ghost, ghost face in this one, or one killer, I should say, and that was different. Scream doesn't always have to be about 2 killers. That's an old, you know, you did it once in Scream, okay, good, and then you fucking You do it again in Scream 2. It's like, that's why I didn't like it. There was nothing new there. It was so predictable. It's like, well, you know there's 2 killers. Like, you know it. That's why I like this movie. Completely surprised me. Then, oh, here's Scream 4, 2 killers again. It's like, come on. Like, it's a tired cliche. Like, I'm sick of it. So, Scream 3, I really like. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. That's all I got from my collection. And there are probably a lot more that some of you might, mention in the comments that I didn't list, and that's fine. It's impossible to name them all, but those are just some of my favorites. And the next video will be my least favorite Part 3s of horror films, which there's really not a big list at all with those. But nonetheless, I'm going to make a video about it. So if you want to do a response, please do so. Let me know what you think in the comments about some of these titles, and yeah, stay tuned for more content. This is Rob signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.